I'm going to do a reaction to my own trailer. Star Trek Chimera, the trailer that went up here on the 20th of January, is the first of probably 3 trailers. The Valentine of the Fans is here a little early, because there's other stuff happening in February, and there will be another trailer, but this is the official first trailer of Star Trek Chimera. I'm going to watch it and then comment on it. So I'm going to play it. Yeah. And I produced it, so I'm going to watch it.
Destiny has been taken, but for a brave Starship crew, they will face the greatest challenge ever, as they must stop the universe from being ripped apart.
This is a crew evaluation of Captain Nicholas Picardo and his crew.
It looks like Roe in the background.
Chimera, presently docked here. Note that Captain Picardo inadvertently served with distinction during the Dominion War.
Okay.
That's right, sir. We were prisoners on a Cardassian planet for years, and were rescued for the Starship Exeter.
Maybe a little bit of a Iraq parable there.
Fascinating,
Oh,
isn't it?
okay.
A recreation of the last dialogue given on the Enterprise. On the 5-year mission of Captain James Tiberius Kirk.
Alright.
Is this an actual recording?
It looks like Esri, but I guess they didn't have a... Looks like, yeah. They didn't make an Esri action figure that size.
Well, she's improved since...
And Worf in the background, Wesley in the background.
But not substantially.
Captain LaForge.
It's not Chakotay.
Report, Mr. Everson.
Everson. That's a nod to Silly Trek.
Calling.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Yeah, you'd better believe it.
All that was, all that is, all that ever will be. Q. This is where time and space have no meaning.
We are still in the anomaly field, near some kind of planet, but out of danger.
Crass.
That was foolish of me. I have no idea what I was thinking.
Gee, that voice sounds familiar.
You think
Q.
like a primate.
Just lying there.
At least we're out of the storm.
No, he's not. There he is.
You're much more impulsive than Siska.
That's that Klingon doctor guy. Dude.
Sensors are back online, and there is a class M planet out there. Breathable atmosphere.
Wow. A very interesting opportunity to lead an away team.
You'll need someone to fly the ship.
Pick me! Pick me!
He wants to fly the ship.
I don't think so, Q. Go
You could
away.
totally do that if you wanted to.
Suit yourself. But you have no idea what you're up against.
A tiny cornfield. Ridiculous. The Q continuum is so much more than any human brain can fathom. I, Q, know this to be true. Star Trek Chimera, the Destiny device.
Okay, yeah, so... Yeah. Okay, yeah, my reaction to my own trailer. That ought to be meta. It's interesting. It runs about 3 minutes, and it has snippets and flashes very similar to the First Contact trailer and the Abrams ones, but without cheesy rock music. It seems that the pacing of the flashes is a slightly higher paced thing, but if you follow the piano music, it's not a high energy space opera, space battle movie at all, and it's clear from the story that it has a lot of script and story and characters in it. At least from this trailer, it appears that because we didn't have the effects, we're not going to say they, it was me. But that they didn't have all the special effects ready yet, or at least they didn't have the ability to do a lot of them. We just go for a sort of, let's have the dialogue tell the story. Let's have the show not tell is mainly tell, but But in this case, you kind of needed it because they're plastic. Yeah, if your actors aren't literally plastic, then you need to actually show, not tell. But if they are plastic, you kind of have to tell. So there's that. What that means when an actor says that is, it doesn't mean expository dialogue or is bad. What it means is that descriptions need to make sense. Such as, the part with Tuvok there. He doesn't just say you served in a Dominion war. He says inadvertently you did something. That descriptive adjective is like, it was almost an accident that had happened, And that's a plot device in there apparently. I've revealed that that's how Nick Locarno was able to be in this story. Locarno was, of course, the original guy that Paris was based on. And they couldn't use that because the writer would have had to given the writer of the original First Duty would have had royalties from all of Voyager for the rest of his life because they were going to use his character in Voyager. So they changed his name to Tom Paris. Our out was to say, it's not Tom Paris. It's Nick Locarno. It's his twin brother. It's supposed to be Robbie McNeil playing this other guy. It's me, but it's supposed to be Robbie McNeil. And I'm not Robbie McNeil. I'm saying in the character. I play the character in this story. And and Q is Shirley Kelly. But yeah, so they basically established that Nick Locarno had to redeem himself at some point, as Paris had done in the Delta Quadrant. And the Dominion War was right there. So we wrote this Dominion War idea that back around 2376 or so, about 8 years before the story, he was discovered on a Cardassian prison planet called Ducala in Cardassian space, near out on the outskirts of the Chintaqua area and all that. That's what they call their star system, the Cardassian space. And they found him, and Ro Laren led the away team that found him. Ro Laren was serving on the Starship Exeter at the time. And which is cool because it's a nod to Deep Space Nine, that during the Dominion War there was a Starship Exeter. It was damaged in battle, and later on there was a replacement Exeter. And so I just said that, it got damaged to the Battle of Beta Z. That's when that happened. So it works. So totally. It's not quite canon with what happened, but this is sort of a parallel to the Prime universe because we've got other things that have apparently happened in regards to that too. Locarno is more redeemable. He was a prisoner on this planet for several years. They find Ceto Jaxa there as well. She's kind of in the background in there. And we thought she was dead, but no, she was alive. They took her prisoner. So we'll find other things out too. It appears that Tuvok is on Deep Space Nine in the trailer. This could be Deep Space Nine, and that, I know where it is, but I'm not going to tell you. but yeah, and that he is the some kind of captain or high-ranking officer on the station or the ship, and Ro Laren is behind him, possibly first officer. I don't know what happened to Kira, but you'll find out in the movie. She's around, but you'll find out. I don't want to give away too much. Q is apparently around, and he's worried that the Continuum has been attacked and by the overlords, and he is concerned that the universe is being ripped apart, and he has a little voiceover about that. The universe being ripped apart would be a big deal, How would they even fight that? So we'll have to find out in the movie. The Q apparently appears to Locarno and crew later in the trailer. As well as we've seen other clips where he appeared to Picard. Apparently that was a little earlier in the movie when he appeared to Picard. Pestered him. The holodeck scene is explained, just a nutshell of the holodeck scene on the classic Enterprise, because it's the 50th anniversary. Actually, we filmed that scene in 2011. So it was quite a while back. It was our first Valentine to the fans. Yeah, ever since Rick Berman said, Enterprise is going to make a Valentine to the fans, and in their finale season, where we've been ripping on them for 10 years now, and this is Valentine to the fans. No, this is a real Valentine to the fans. Have the action figures on Kirk's old Enterprise on holodeck. That's their Valentine. And then there was another one with Q last year. I think we skipped a year there. we've been releasing these things and pre-trailers and teasers and things like that, and it wasn't really ready yet. We said, oh, it's going to be ready last year in September. Now it actually is getting toward ready, so we can say Memorial Day weekend 2016 is definitive for the release date of this movie. It has to be out before Star Trek Beyond. Anyway, so yeah, Picard is in there, and apparently Riker and Worf are standing in the background, and Wesley as well. Wesley Crusher is wearing a yellow engineering shirt, mustard colored. Riker appears to be a captain or something, and there was a flash briefly of the Titan, but it's not the Luna class. It's the one after the Luna class. It has an A on the end. So yeah, and that's a very interesting trailer analysis. And LaForge is apparently now the captain on the Enterprise, which is from one of the scenes. It wasn't really given away, so you can go back and watch that scene in which he's congratulated. That was the scene that was an early version of that scene is online. And yeah, it's really cool to see the figures and characters for the first time with some finished effects in there, and see what some of that looks like. The overall trailer is pretty cool. It's even for action figures. I know there will be some detractors. I know some people will say, oh, it's just action figures on a spaceship. Oh, mouths aren't moving like Robot Chicken or anything. It's like, yeah, but Robot Chicken has a staff of 200 people, and half of them are animators, and they animate all their faces and stuff. We can't do that. We don't have a staff. We can't pay anybody. It's not paid. We can't pay anybody. Can't pay anybody for ads. These trailers are free. They're going up free. No monetizing, no AdSense. They're just free. That's what they are. And the movie's going to be free when it comes out. So this is not anything that's going to make any profit. So look at it that way when you watch it and detract from it and go like, oh, I don't like action figure Star Trek. Yeah, well, you've seen other action figure Star Trek. That is at least creative, but this is considered... I would consider this an actual Star Trek story that had been written in 2006, which originally the script was, and that's 10 years ago, and this was an actual usable Star Trek script. Of course they did. We're not famous. But yeah, we'd only written a couple spec scripts. It's like, come on, you're not famous. You're not going to write a movie. They're not going to let you do that. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, so... Well, we wrote the movie anyway. We wrote Star Trek. It would have been Star Trek 11, and yeah. So, so this is Star Trek Chimera. This would be considered Star Trek 13, but yeah. But it's a fan film. It uses action figures, go motion, which means we push them around a little bit. Yeah. So. Of course, it doesn't have top-notch special effects and video game special effects and all that. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to look like a teenager put this together with his computer and his cardboard sets and stuff. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like Silly Track from back in the 80s, in '86 when we started this. Yeah, it looks like a professional movie. It's shot like one, but it's not professional. So unlike Action R and those other ones, and Phase 2, this is not a professional production. This is a fan film. It clearly has a very low budget, and it was not crowdfunded. We paid for it years ago. And each time we have to have a new set put up or something, I pay for it out of my pocket. Get out some money and go, here, well, I got to fix a set. I go to the store and get some supplies and fix a set myself. With Mark Scar's help, sometimes. So basically at this point we have everything done, paid in full. It's ready. So, but the movie itself, we're about maybe 30 minutes from the end of filming. So this is the trailer recap, and yeah, look forward to seeing this full production and 2 more trailers, and that it's actually Memorial Day weekend in 2016. Star Trek Chimera, Destiny has been taken. What's that about? What's the Destiny device? You're going to find out.